இன்றைய சிறப்பு விருந்தினராக வந்துள்ள எங்களது கோவை மருத்துவ மையத்தின் மனநல மருத்துவர், எனது அன்பிற்குரிய நண்பர், நீண்ட நெடுங்காலமாக கிட்டத்தட்ட 28 வருடங்களாக நாங்கள் இணைந்து பணியாற்றி இருக்கின்றோம். ஸோ அத்தகைய சிறப்பு வாய்ந்த டாக்டர் ஸ்ரீனிவாசன் அவர்களை இந்த மாலை வேளையில் எங்களது அகில இந்திய கட்டுநர் கழகத்தின் தலைவர் என்ற முறையில் வருக வருக என்று வரவேற்பதில் மிக்க மகிழ்ச்சி அடைகின்றேன். மேலும் இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியில் இன்று இணைந்திருக்கும் நமது அனைத்து பொறியியற் கல்லூரிகளின் பேராசிரியர் பெருமக்கள் மற்றும் ஆசிரியர் பெருமக்கள், மாணவ செல்வங்கள், மேலும் எங்களது அகில இந்திய கட்டுநர் கழகத்தின் செயற்குழு, பொதுக்குழு உறுப்பினர்கள், முன்னாள் தலைவர்கள், மூத்த உறுப்பினர்கள் அனைவரையும் இந்த மாலை வேளையில் வருக வருக என்று வரவேற்பதில் மிக்க மகிழ்ச்சி அடைகின்றேன். கிட்டத்தட்ட நம்ம இதுக்கு முதல்ல ஒரு 15 நாள் நம்ம இன்டர்ன்ஷிப் ப்ரோக்ராம் மாணவர்களுக்கு நடத்திட்டோம். அடுத்த 15 நாள் நம்ம கமிட்டி வந்து டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணும்போது, பிளான் பண்ணும்போது, நம்ம கோர் சப்ஜெக்டை விட்டுட்டு மாணவர்களுக்கு ஏதாவது ஒரு பிரயோஜனமா ஒரு சப்ஜெக்ட் நம்ம சொல்லிக் கொடுக்கணுமே அப்படின்னு பண்ணும்போது, பர்சனாலிட்டி டெவலப்மெண்ட் அதை பற்றி மாணவர்களுக்கு பண்ணால் என்ன, ஏன்னா அது ரொம்ப முக்கியமானது அப்படின்னு வந்து ஒரு டாபிக், ஒரு டிஸ்கஷன் வந்தது. அந்த சமயத்தில் எனக்கு டக்குன்னு ஞாபகம் வந்தது எங்களது டாக்டர் தான். ஏன்னா எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சு 28 வருடங்களாக கோவை மையத்தில் 28-30 வருடங்களாக ஆரம்பத்திலிருந்தே மருத்துவ தொழில் மட்டுமல்லாமல் இந்த மாதிரி பர்சனாலிட்டி டெவலப்மெண்ட், மாணவர்களிலிருந்து முதியவர்கள் வரை அவர்களுக்கு வகுப்புகள் எடுத்துக்கொண்டு வாரமும் கோவை நகரம் மட்டுமல்லாமல் தமிழகம் முழுவதும், ஏன் அகில இந்திய அளவில் இந்த மாதிரியான நிகழ்ச்சிகளை டாக்டர் வந்து நடத்திக்கிட்டு இருக்காங்க. ஸோ அதனால வந்து ஏன் நம்ம மருத்துவர் வந்து நம்ம கையில் வச்சுக்கிட்டு நம்ம மாணவர்களுக்கு ஏன் நம்ம பண்ணக்கூடாது அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு திங்கிங் வந்த உடனே தான் டாக்டர் அணுகுனது. டாக்டர் உடனே மனமும் வந்து அதை ஒற்றுக்கொண்டு இன்று நிகழ்விலை கலந்து கொண்டுள்ளார்கள். ஸோ மீண்டும் ஒரு முறை டாக்டர் ஸ்ரீனிவாசன் அவர்களை வருக வருக என்று வரவேற்று, டாக்டர் ஸ்ரீனிவாசன் அவர்களை இந்த அவைக்கு அறிமுகப்படுத்துமாறு திரு ராமசாமி அவர்களை கேட்டுக்கொள்கின்றேன். ஓவர் டு திரு ராமசாமி அவர்கள்.
Good evening, everyone. I extend a warm welcome to all for the 9th day of 15 days virtual internship program, Series 2, organized by Builders Association of India, Coimbatore Center. I would like to introduce today's resource person, Dr. D. He completed his MBBS in Madras Medical College in 1979, BP in 1985. He worked as assistant professor in Institute of Mental Health Science, Chennai. He is consultant psychiatrist in KMCH, Coimbatore. He is medical director of Kasturba Gandhi DE Addiction and Research Rehabilitation Center, Coimbatore, an NGO which has treated more than 15,000 patients, which gives innovative methods of treatment. This center also runs a suicide prevention center with a telephone hotline 106 for more than 20 years and helped thousands of clients who otherwise would not have been helped. He presented in many CMEs, published many articles, and chaired sessions in state, regional, national, and international conferences. From uses hypnotherapy in his group therapy as well as with individual sessions. From 1988 to 2019, he has conducted 45 batches of personality development programs. He conducted many programs for students, teachers, and employees of many institutions on stress management and emotional intelligence. He has delivered more than 1,500 lectures to various public forums on stress management, anger management, relationship management, and effective study skills, emotional wellness, and positive parenting. He has been taking an active part in Dr. JKB Medical Trust activities in preventive cardiology and authored 3 chapters in Dr. J.K. Periasami's books. He has been awarded the Best Doctor Award by Lion Club of Karur in the year of 2005. He has been awarded the Best Doctor Award by IMA Coimbatore in the year of 2018. He was the Secretary of Indian Psychiatric Society Tamil Nadu chapter from 1993 to 1995 and was the president from 2008 to 2009. He is the current editor of Indian Journal of Mental Health and Neurosciences. He is Life Fellow in Society and Life Fellow in Indian Association of Private Psychiatry. He is fellow member in American Psychiatric Association. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you. பன்னீர் பேச ஆரம்பிச்சிருந்தா?
Yes, doctor, start பண்ணிக்கலாங்க.
I can go ahead. Okay.
Yes, start. Yeah.
Good evening, respected members of the Coimbatore branch of Builders Association of India, the office bearers, and my dear Paneer, as he said, we know each other for more than 28 years, and Mr. Ramsamy, who has given a wonderful introduction about me. As you rightly said, personality development is, I started my training program called GATE, Global Academy for Total Empowerment, from 1998, and we have done it for more than 45 batches so far. So one of the things that made me start this program is an important message that I came across when I was going through a lot of books and articles that talked about goal setting. So if I ask you, how many of you have goals? How many will you say yes? In fact, until I came across that article, till the age of 40, I did not have goals. I was just like a leaf going along the river on its course. I did not know what I was doing, what I was focusing on, and taking up what was coming on my way. So that particular article really opened me up. So if I ask that question, you ask yourself, because probably this is not the regular webinar mode where I can ask people to use the chat box to respond. So you ask yourself the question, do I have the goal? Yes or no? That's the answer you have to give within yourself. So if there are about 200 people, that's what I was told by Mr. Paneer Selvam, chairman of the association, I guess probably around 30 or 40 may be thinking that yes, I have a goal. But if you go deeper into it, then you will realize what you have is not a goal, but just a mere wish. Because that particular study says that a famous university called Yale University, where the best of the best students come, they asked them, how many of you have goals? And only about 10% said, yes, we have goals. So if we take that, probably among the 200, 20 may be having goals. But they went ahead and asked the next question, how many of you have written your goals in detail? Not just a vague goal that I want to be rich, I want to be big, I want to be like reaching a position, other should be looking up at me. Not like that. as clearly as possible, as specific as possible, in as much detail as possible. How many of you have written the goal? And not only the goals, but also the ways of achieving those goals. How many of you have written? Just answer that question. And if I have a chat box, probably I'll be receiving. But in Yale University, it was about 3% of the students have written their goals, and not only the goals, a detailed action plan of how they are going to achieve the goal. So, what's the big deal? You may be asking, why should I think about goals? And some people say that if I think about my goal, then I get more tensed. If I think about a goal, sometimes I may not achieve it. And if I probably think about a goal and talk about to other people may mock at me. Or if I don't achieve the goal, then I will feel like a failure in front of others. Or some people may think that I don't know how to set goals. But if you know the importance and how much it can change your life, how much focus it can give to your life, then you will realize how goals are important. In fact, if at all I have to give one message, the entire message that I'm going to give today, over whatever time that's available, you are interested in listening, is to emphasize upon why people should set goals and how you can go about doing it and how it can change or transform your entire life. Because people have come often and told me, Doctor, after attending your course, my life has changed completely. My life can be always divided into before gate, attending your program, and after attending your program. Whether it has been a 12-year-old student or it has been a 75-year-old person, because my courses have such a wide range of people attending that. A lot of people in business have come back and told me that after attending your program, I had a much better clarity in my life. I had a much better clarity and focus on what to do. I had a much better clarity and focus on what to do and how to communicate. Communicate not only to other self, but communicating within myself. So this is the kind of clarity people get with that course. That is because I will give them a new GPS. You all know GPS. Maps, you have Google Maps, right? So if you type in the Google Map, you type your destination, where you want to reach. And then it asks you, what's your location? Either I can take it from the computer or you just tell me where you want to start from. Then it also asks you, do you want to walk, go cycling, or hire a cab, or take a bus, two-wheeler, or car? Depending upon that, it tells you the route, it tells you what to avoid, and we also give you your preferences, toll roads or toll-free roads. And depending upon all these things, it tells you what's the best route to take and also how much time it's going to take. Like that, if you know what your goals are, and if you know what your means are, that means like whether you are going to go by cycle or two-wheeler or a car or things, probably in other countries, whether you are going to take a helicopter or an airplane, if it's a longer distance, right? So, depending upon all these things, this GPS, that is goal positioning system that I'm going to teach you, will tell you whether you will be able to reach there or not, how long will it take, and what you need to do. So has happened to the 3%. Do you remember the number of persons we talked about who said that they have written down, who said that they have written down their goals in detail and also the action plan to achieve them. 20 years later, they went to these people and asked them, what's happened to these people? And there emerged an interesting finding, even exciting finding, I would say. The 3% who had written their goals and also a detailed action plan has achieved as much as the rest 97% put together. Do you understand what it means? In simple arithmetic terms, a person who has a goal and also a focus and clarity achieve as much as 33 of his classmates. Does the magnitude strike you? And what a precision goal setting can do to you and take you like a rocket to wherever you want to go. So you need to have clarity first. That's the focus, goal, what you want to do. You are all in final year of civil engineering. That's what I was told. So after completing your BE, do you want to pursue post-graduation, ME, and after that you want to get into a teaching profession? Or do you want to take up a job immediately after completing BE? Do you want to work for somebody else? Or you want to start something? Do you have a family business running for you and you want to join that? So these are all the various options, and there may be more options as well. I am just giving some of the options that you can think about. So at least that much of clarity you should have. So if you want to study further post-graduation and get into teaching, so what you should be preparing yourself for? If you want to get into a job, what's your aim? How much salary are you thinking of getting? 10,000 plus, 20,000 plus, 50 plus, 1 lakh plus? So whatever you are thinking, are you equipping yourself? The skills that are required, the knowledge and information that's required, and also the attitude that is required in order to reach there. So, in effect, are you preparing yourself? Are you foreseeing your future? 5 years from now, where do you want to be? And in order to reach that, what are all the steps that you need to take? This is the first step that you need to think about. Okay, so in order to do that, what is personality development? You should develop first a self-awareness. What are my capacities? What are my skills? How much of endurance do I have in pursuing whatever I want to do? Like, where is my time spent? Or is it invested or is it wasted? Because time management, whenever I have talked to students, on an average, they say, to understand that possible? No. To understand that at every moment you are using or losing the time. Is about where my time is. Am I using it am I investing in? Persistence. Do you do things consistently, or do you start something with an enthusiasm and then give it up easily? Of the people who make the New Year resolution don't follow it for more, learn yoga, and number of people who practice. There is a great drop. So like that, we start a lot of things, looking at a friend or studying somewhere, and then we give it up very easily. Why? Because you don't have the persistence, you don't have the motivation, you don't know your destination, goal. That's what I said. So if you really have a goal which you want to achieve and you think you are capable of achieving, then you will be persisting with it. So you need to have a focus. You should know where you want to go. And in order to believe that you can achieve that comes what I call the self-esteem. Self-esteem is what you think about yourself. It's not what others think about you. It is not what others comment about you. It is not about what other people estimate about you, but it is about your own confidence or your own evaluation of yourself. Because according to me, the most important thing in anybody's life is the self-esteem. Because the self-esteem determines everything about your life. Your self-esteem determines everything about your life. That's why I asked you the question some time back. Like after completing, if you want to go for a job, how much salary do you expect? So your self-esteem is going to tell you how much salary you are going to expect. Oh, 10,000 is enough. If that's what you think, then that's the kind of friends whom you have moved with, and that's the impression you have got that your course is only worth so much, and that's the job market out there. But if you think, no, I am capable of getting 50,000 or 1 lakh job, why? People coming out of IITs and other things should be talking about a very high value. So it's your self-esteem that is going to determine the kind of goals you set. So if your self-esteem is high, then your goals will be a very high one. If your self-esteem is low, then you will be thinking that this is what I can achieve. How many times have you ever wondered somebody else who is going out there on the stage and performing, and you think, I can do better than that. This fellow is making a fool of himself. I have much better capacity, but I am sitting here and he's on the stage. That's self-esteem. The person who goes there got the self-esteem So, if you have to ask a question, self-esteem and the capacity to perform, or your ability, your skill level come out. But person with a lower performance level, but still he has got a self-esteem, at least he goes out and performs, and then he gets a feedback. Okay, this is what your performance level, and then he can improve. He is able to do it, he goes out and do it, and he is getting the recognition. I am not able to. Who prevented you? It's not others. You prevented yourself. Do you realize that? It's not others who are preventing you. You prevented yourself from growing. So 10 years from now, 20 years from now, if you look back at this talk, because like till 40, I have not taken the information when it was given. Probably I thought I knew at the same time. I really didn't think that I needed to know anything from anybody. And probably there were not that many training courses. In fact, that was asked almost about 2002 when I did a program in Europe. Somebody asked me, Doctor, why are there so many training programs now? 20 years ago, like in the 1980s or 1990s, it was not there. I said, the need has come. We are just following the Western countries. Now, if you look at it, every day, everybody is selling something or other. So there is training for everything. So you have to identify if you want to develop a skill, what skill will be useful to you, and then invest in acquiring that skill if you think that is one of the roadblocks you have. But your growth is prevented only by you, only by your self-esteem. So you need to have a realistic self-evaluation. Understand, okay, what can I do, what I cannot do, what I want to do. So what you want to do is different from what you can do, and what you think you can do is much less than that. So what you're capable of doing is lot more than that. So most of the people think that they can do only about 2 or 3% of what they're really capable of. This is what I call the self-imposed limitation. Popular psychology says that on average people use only 2 to 3% of their potential. I am not saying you use 100% of your potential, but just merely double what you are already doing. I am just taking about 6% of your potential. Then you will double your productivity. So you capable of, I want to emphasize now that most of you are performing much below your potential. Your potential is unlimited, lot more than what you are capable of doing, and what is restricting is your self-esteem, which is low. So once you develop the confidence in yourself, explore yourself, you will realize that you are capable of much more than what you are doing. I can give you a guarantee. Anybody can even challenge me on that. A lot of people have done that. When I started the course for them, and over a period of time, they have come back and told, Doctor, you just opened our eyes, inner eyes. And after you said, I realized how much underperforming I was. Now I have opened up to the possibilities, and it just floodgates opened. So I am doing so much. My business has improved so much, or my productivity in other areas have improved so much. I thought I never had creativity. Now I realize that I am capable of doing so many things. My imagination has opened up. So taking that into action, that's the most important thing. Like whatever you learn, whatever new information you get, the idea alone is not important, but how much of this can you put into action? That's so, unless otherwise you put that into action, nothing happens. All that remains within your head. You think that you know a lot of things, you have received a lot of information. So sometimes you get a lot of motivation, but the motivation just stays there only for a few days. Unless otherwise you put that into action, then reap the results, get the benefit, enjoy and taste the benefit, then it makes you do more. Whereas if you just receive an idea, keep it, oh, it's a great idea, wonderful idea, goal setting is good, 3% of the people are able to do so much, okay, I will also. But then if you don't take the next step, that's action, then it doesn't produce results. And what you don't use it in the next 48 hours, it just disappears, evaporates. So your self-esteem determines everything, as I said, the kind of goals you set, the kind of friends you move with. Because your average performance is equal to average of the group, average of the information you receive. So there are some colleges where the moment they come into the second year, they think about writing exams, going abroad and doing masters in American universities. So the college subculture is like that. There are some colleges where they are focused on campus interviews, whereas some where even to that level they don't reach. So it's the kind of books you read, the kind of people you talk to. That's where this program is a wonderful program. Everybody is going to share their experience, their life experience, and from there you can learn a lot of things. Then now coming back to cricket, I don't know how many of you have watched the interview of one T. Natarajan. He is a wonder who has played only tennis ball cricket till the age of 20. Till 20 years, he has not touched a real cricket ball. He did not have an opportunity to do that. He cannot afford that. And he cannot even afford a shoe. And somebody sponsors, he uses it for a year. At 20, suddenly he switches from the tennis ball to the regular cricket ball. And then within a short time, he moves up. So what does that tell you? That he says he couldn't even afford the college fee. He stopped his studies in between. He couldn't afford any of the coaching. But he had the talent and somebody spotted the talent. Of course, the talent is important, somebody spotting and then taking it to the next level. In one of the interviews with Ravichandran Ashwin, he talks about whose wicket do you think is your prize wicket? He says Dhoni's wicket, and the next match he goes out there and takes Dhoni's wicket. So that's goal setting. So he dreams about it, he thinks about it, he focuses on it, and probably within his mind, he replays 1,000 times or probably more than that, how the batsman plays and how he should bowl, and if he has to take his wicket, what he has to do. So that's the power of goal setting. Within a day after that interview, next day's match is with against Dhoni, and then he takes his wicket. So that I was amazed for a person who talks about goal setting and teaching it for more than 22 to 25 years. I realized how this fellow talks about it in an interview, and the next match he goes out and takes his wicket, the most prized wicket he thinks, and he takes it. So if you read stories like that, where perseverance takes you to the highest levels, of course you need to develop the skills along the way, but perseverance and also thinking that you can do it. So that's the kind of attitude. That's why I said your self-esteem and the kind of people you move with, the kind of books you read, the kind of information you take. So you take inspiration. So somebody from that background, if somebody has ever told that only people from Chennai, only from a particular group can get into cricket and play for the state and play at a higher level, now he is thinking of playing for the Indian team. That's something totally amazing, which has no precedence. So if you are thinking about your past, that is restricting you, you have to get yourself free from that. Don't think of the limitations. I am coming from a family like this. I am coming from a poor family, I cannot speak English, I cannot afford to get trained in a way, I cannot do this, I cannot do that, I don't have this. If you're looking at all the negative things which you don't have, then you will be in a limited mindset. You have to come out of it and think about what you want to do. First, believe it, you are capable of doing whatever you want to do. Free yourself from the past failures, because past failures are the roadblocks to a lot of people. So don't learn from that. Only you have to learn from the mistakes, but you should never stuck in your past. That's one of the mistakes many people do. Limited mindset or limitation mindset. That's why you are not using your full potential. So, if your self-esteem is low, again, self-esteem is not universal or uniform. You may be having confidence in one area, lesser confidence in another area. So, it's about your capacity, it's about your skill, what you want to achieve. So, self-esteem, like I said, goal, and in order to set goals, self-esteem, and your self-esteem determines everything about your life. As I said, about your goals, the kind of friends you have, the kind of decisions you make, the kind of jobs you take, the projects you take, everything depends upon your self-esteem. So analyze your self-esteem. Where do you stand and how is it formed? Is it from other people's opinion, or is it from your past experience? You tried to do something and you failed, and so you decide you cannot do and give it up, or you have a perseverance and you want to move on. So your self-esteem, as I said, that's the most important thing. Don't take other people's opinion. They are not unshakable facts. That is just an opinion of them. So you know yourself better than anybody else. Please understand that. The person who knows you the best is yourself. So others cannot understand about you. Others cannot judge you. Others cannot comment about you. They can just give a feedback. The feedback can be correct, need not be correct. So you can understand yourself better. That is why sometimes your mistakes haunt you more. They trouble you more. So you need to probably break free from it and start doing more. So in order to do that, you need to move to the next step, and you should be willing to take risks, or what I call moving out of the comfort zone. A lot of people stick around to the routine, stick with the same kind of friends, don't explore, afraid of talking a new language or even the language known to them, talking to new people, taking up new ideas, even going to a different place. Even I was stuck. Like I did psychiatry training, post-graduation, 6 years, which I could have done in 3 years. But because I was stuck to the institute, I did not want to move out of it. I spent 6 years. Now looking back, I think that I could have done the same in 3 or 4 different institutions. My experience would have been even wider. But at that time, I was not willing to take risks, not willing to go out. I was comfortable there. Everybody kept me like a king, and I enjoyed that, and I spent all the time there. In the result, I was comfortable. But did I pick up more? Could I have done that differently? Like the people who are asking me now, I am saying, like, go out to as many institutions as possible. Learn from different people, because learning theory is different, which is the same book everywhere. But learning from people's experience is different. So that's what is happening to you, and that takes you to the next step. Role models. Please understand, these role models are different from heroes. And most of you are following zeros as heroes. If you are following a movie star or somebody, I will say that you are following zeros as heroes. They are only in the real life, not in the real life heroes. The real life heroes are different. So you should have a role model, because in your goal setting, you will only know what you know and it will be setting. But if we have a role model, I want to be like him. So I have to learn from his life history. If you know the person, you can ask him. So in fact, like even at this stage, I am learning. I have enrolled in a few courses about training, and one of the persons was asking the same question. Sayan was the name. Sayan, how did you break out the initial resistance when you were starting? Now you are big, right? But when you started it, how did you break out the initial resistance? So he gave the answer. So if you know the person, or you can learn their biographies written by them, or autobiography, or written by somebody else's biography. So there, how they encountered problems and how did they overcome. So definitely you should have role models. The more role models you have, the better. So from there, you formulate, I want to be like him. So it's not copying, it's learning from the masters, learning from the people who have excelled, learning from people who have, in fact, we did a program called Vetri Ennodu. Unfortunately, it came in Doordarshan where the viewership was less. It's still on the YouTube. For 52 weeks, an interview with the person, and I distilled the success principle. All of them have struggled, like Muruganandam. Arunachalam Muruganandam is a person who is a school dropout. Now he is called in multiple universities, very high institutions. Now he has learned to speak English. It's a very, very broken English. But he is not ashamed. He feels that this is comfortable, I will talk. And he is able to communicate, and people are giving a standing ovation to him. He talked about menstrual hygiene and how people are struggling. At one time, people thought that he is a mad fellow. His own wife, his own mother disowned him. But he persevered, and now he is a hero of so many people. International organizations are calling. Many of the developing countries asking for his model to improve the menstrual hygiene of people at the poverty line, because the regular sanitary pads are costly, many people cannot afford. So like he talked about how he is not even able to afford a cycle. The first cycle he purchased was a second-hand cycle. Even after buying a Benz car, he never had that kind of happiness what he had when he had that second-hand cycle. Traveling by bus, he couldn't afford at one point of time. So these are the people. We have interviewed about 13 or 14 people within that 52-week period time. So that gives you the success principle. So like that, you choose role model. A few role models in your own industry, what you want to do. In civil engineering, you want to start a big construction industry, or you want to become a world-class teacher, teaching other people, or even if you're working, what you want to give the best. So if you go like that, your aim should be a better version of yourself every day. I'm growing. I learned something new today, so that I am better than what I was yesterday. Like that, an attitude where you develop just for learning constantly. That is where you will be constantly improving and you will be giving your best. So it's almost an hour. Panish, do we stop here and take questions? Is it a possibility to take questions?
Yes, doctor. Yes.
They are on YouTube. How will they ask questions?
Yeah. ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் ஏதாவது உங்களுக்கு கேள்விகள் இருந்தா கேளுங்க.
Like we can have a few questions. Based on that, I will build up further and tell me when to stop. Because you told me 68, but 1 hour is the best time. So I am stopped in this topic because this is one of my pet topic. So we can take up questions from here.
Karthik sir.
Yes, sir. Questions are there, sir. Let me postpone.
Okay.
Sir, one student has asked that being a student, how to manage my mind?
No, I often say the more clear the question, more clear the answer. More specific the question, you get a more specific answer. If the question is general, you get a general answer. If the question is vague, you get a vague answer. So how do I manage my mind in the class hours? What does it mean? Like about I am not able to concentrate, I am
Yes,
not
sir.
able to learn.
He's saying that suddenly his mind is going to some other thoughts.
No, that's what. So first is you need sleep hygiene. 8 hours sleep is important. Going to sleep and getting up from the sleep should be at the same time. 10 o'clock means 10 every day. Automatically sleep should come to you. Morning 6 o'clock. Many of the students I have learned that they don't sleep properly. Sleep at various, one day at 10 o'clock, one day at 2 o'clock, they watch something in the night. So during the class, they feel sleepy, number one. Number two, lack of interest. So if you are not interested, like somebody, no student has come ever and asked me, Doctor, I am not able to manage my mind and concentrate in the movie hall. Like the story I often tell is many parents bring their children, sir, his memory is poor. Then I ask him, who is your favorite hero? Talaya, Talabadiya, whatever it is. And they tell, and then what's the last movie you watched? Right. Can you tell me what's the movie? He describes it more than the director. He can describe a 3-hour movie for 3 hours. So is this boy lacking in memory? No. So what he lacks is concentration. What he lacks is interest. So if you think you have interest, you have the motivation, then you will be able to attend. If your distraction is going, just take a small pocket notebook, keep it even for people who practice meditation. Says that I am not able to concentrate in my studies. I tell them, keep a stopwatch, 5 minutes, you study to start with. Then keep a notebook simultaneously. So whenever your mind is distracted, immediately open the notebook, write what you are distracted into. Then come back to study. Like that, if you do regularly, then you will know where your distraction is going. It's attraction from outside or it's lack of interest from the class. So first you have to understand something else is more compelling. It's kind of love affair or some broken relationship or something he misses. That's the kind of thing. Then he needs to manage that and then come back. If it's lack of interest or sleepiness, then he has to manage his sleep, develop interest, because that's why I said goal. What is my goal and how is this class related? Every activity we do, every day, whatever you are doing, if it is connected with your goal, then you will know whether you are moving towards your goal or you are moving away from your goal. So with that kind of clarity, definitely you will never waver your mind. So does that give you some idea to the student? I think he should be able to get it. We'll move to the next question.
Yes, sir. Next question from Girish Suburatinam, sir. He asked, how do we improve our concentration, especially for studying?
This is civil engineering, mathematics-based students. Even for other people, I give this exercise. Like, close your eyes, then keep doubling your numbers in your mind. Like 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 10. Like that, you keep going. So, maximum number you are able to reach, note down in a diary today. Then next day, you improve at least by 1 number. Like that, if you keep on going, like if it is a slide, I will say first 5 steps, second 5 steps, so more than 25 steps you are able to go, you are at the top level. So how many steps you are able to reach? Other one is the Fibonacci series. 1 plus 2, 3, 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 3, 8, 8 plus 5, 13, 13 plus 8, 21. Like that, how many numbers you are able to go. These are the 2 exercises for mathematics-oriented students. They should be relative. At least you understand the concept, reach the maximum. Then every day you it's like mental muscles. Like I am able to do only 5 push-ups. What do I do? How do I improve? So I do 5, I am comfortable, right. So today I have to come out of that 5, I do at least 6 today. Then 6 I am comfortable, next day I do 7. 7 I am comfortable, comfortable, I do 8. So keep stretching, you will be able to improve. So these are like what I call, there is a thing called visuospatial sketchpad. It's like the rough area we use for doing the math calculations. In the mind itself, we have temporary memory set. That's where the concentration comes. So you keep working that muscle continuously, you will be able to improve your concentration. Another one is just very simple form, not even meditation. It's before going into meditation kind of thing. Whenever you have time, whenever you are bored, whenever you are fed up, just close your eyes and watch your breathing. Initially, it will just wander a lot, but slowly, like in the water, you put sands, they float everywhere, and slowly it settles to the bottom and the water becomes clear. Like that, there will be thoughts, distractions everywhere, but when you continue to practice, the sand settles down and the water becomes clear, mind learns to concentrate.
And next is,
So tell you to improve your concentration.
how to encourage ourselves during this lockdown. Since they are continuously staying in the home, so we are getting bored. So how to have better to encourage ourselves?
The most important exercise I tell them is like, nobody appreciates you, you appreciate yourself. So whenever you feel bored, tired, you say, yes, I'm great. Yes, I'm great. I'm wonderful. Something happening to me. Before that, I tell them affirmations. One of the important affirmation is, I like and love myself as I am, because it's connected with the self-esteem. Daily morning, you look into the mirror, look into your own eyes and tell to yourself, I like and love myself as I am. When you keep saying that repeatedly, there is self-love that starts and also that leads to self-appreciation.
So next is, my interest is changing very often. I am doing some work for a few days and jumping to next. How to overcome this?
You mentioned like you are not able to persevere in something. So identify what exactly you are motivated. So one is your skill. One is your talent. Talent is what you are born with. Skill is what you develop. And as I said, the focus, what you want to achieve. So your job is to align your talent, align your skill, like what comes easy to you, what comes naturally to you, and whether you can convert that into something useful. As I said, watching cricket or watching TV or watching movie comes easy to me. But can I make value out of it? No. Like that, you should be able to analyze. So self-analysis, self-esteem, selecting the skill, selecting the task, and selecting the goal, how to connect courses. Then I do over 3 months, 6 half-a-day courses, next level, and the next level, I walk them through 6 months. So there I explain all these things in a lot more detail and practical ways. In a short term, probably I can give you the dots to connect.
How to control the anger, sir?
In fact, anger management is one of my favorite topics. So those of you who are interested, in fact, there is a video. That's my first psychiatrist Srinivasan is the Facebook profile name where I have posted. Otherwise, you can go straight to the YouTube, type Dr. Dr. Srinivasan Mananalam, MANANALAM, 010203, a 45-minute talk where I talk with Sugi Sivam is put on there. So that gives you all the things in detail. But to give you in a very short nutshell, first is stop justifying your anger. If you think you are right in getting angry, then you will never stop getting angry. So first you have to understand, you have to stop your anger. Anger is bad for you. Second, who is responsible for your anger? It may be others who are triggering it, but you have a choice either to react or not react. So the popular term now many people use is reacting versus responding. Reaction is something automatic. Responding is taking choices. So there is a small gap between the stimulus and the response. Between that time you think about it, in what way can I begin, and having the end in mind. So if I do like this, what will be the result I get? If I do like this, what will be the result? So what response like that? If we can think instead of automatically reacting, then you will get the response. So in detail, I have talked for about 45 minutes about anger management and relationship management. That gives you a lot of ideas.
How to overcome the distraction and continuous tiredness?
Distraction and
Continuous tiredness.
energy level is the most important thing. And energy comes not from physical level, it's meant to tell. If you are traveling for 2 hours, coming to the college or coming to the work, you say you are tired by traveling. But suppose you think tomorrow we are going on a college picnic and then we travel for 3 hours or 4 hours to go to some place like Malambula or somewhere. Nobody says, I am tired, I'll take some rest and then come. Immediately they are jumping down and they are full of energy. But one is travel to work or to college, another one is travel for entertainment. There you are not losing energy. So the energy comes from the mindset, number one. And ask me, Dr. Morning, 9 o'clock you started the training, sometimes goes even up to 7:38. You have been talking all the day and we never seem to be tired and sitting here and listening to you. Sometimes you feel tired. You have been standing all the time. So if you have the passion, if you have the interest, if you enjoy what you are doing, then there will be energy. I can guarantee you that.
All about the questions today, sir.
ஓகே டாக்டர், ரொம்ப அற்புதமா இருந்தது. என்ன சொல்றது, எனக்கே ஒரு புத்துணர்ச்சி அந்த மாதிரி ஆயிடுச்சு உரை கேட்டு.
Feedback 1 or 2 people and then we can have the concluding remark if we have time. So கொடுக்கட்டும். அவங்க ரிமைண்டர் அனுப்பிச்சிருந்தாரு நடுவுல. கார்த்தி சார் ஃபீட்பேக் கொடுங்க about the program, then பண்ணி conclude in the end.
Sure, sir. Karthik sir, so in this session, really, students really they have needed this topic in this situation because 99% of the kids are staying with their homes as on date. And they are not even going to shopping or movies for the past 6 months, not going to restaurant 6 months. That itself making them mentally tiredness. Even though they are structurally sound and stably good, but mentally they have become tired due to non-release of their entertainment. So might be your words may be given some idea to them how to release that simple stresses.
In fact, if we are willing, we will probably give a chance to the first 60 people. Of course, we will be charging for them. Like what I normally charge 5,000 for a course, we can give at a concessional rate. 60 people, we can do a one-day program. If the situation permits, in person or probably even through Zoom. Later on, we can think about it.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Karthik sir,
okay. Thank you, sir.
எனக்கு இப்போ நீங்க சொன்னதுக்கு பிறகுதான் எனக்கு தோணுது, நம்ம இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு மோட்டிவேஷனல் ஸ்பீச் வந்து டெஃபினட்டாக நாங்களே ஒரு பில்டர்ஸ் அசோசியேஷன்லேயே ஆர்கனைஸ் பண்ணுறோம். நீங்கள் சொன்ன மாதிரி பேமெண்ட் பண்ணியே நம்ம பண்ணலாம். ஒரு பெரிய ஆடிட்டோரியத்தில் ஒரு 1000 ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் வச்சு, அது எஸ்பெஷலி ஃபார் ஃபைனல் இயர் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ், இந்த மாதிரி நம்ம ஏதாவது ஒரு கண்டிப்பாக நம்ம இந்த கோவிட் இந்த முடிஞ்சதுக்கு பிறகு நாங்களே ஆர்கனைஸ் பண்ணுறோங்க. நான் இத்தனை நாளாக நம்ம 28 வருஷம் நண்பர்களாக பழகி இருக்கிறோம். நான் கன்சல்டிங் கிட்ட வந்திருக்கிறேன். ஆனால் இந்த மாதிரி நான் இவ்வளோ இந்த என்கரேஜ்மெண்ட் மோட்டிவேஷனல் ஸ்பீச் வந்து நான் இன்னைக்கு தான் எனக்கு ஒரு வாய்ப்பு கிடைச்சது. ரொம்ப நன்றிங்க டாக்டர். கண்டிப்பாக இது மாணவ செல்வங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப பிரயோஜனமாக இருந்திருக்கும். கண்டிப்பாக மறுபடியும் நான் உங்களை பயன்படுத்திக்கிறோம். மிக்க நன்றிங்க. உங்க டைம்
நிச்சயமாக இந்த வாய்ப்பு எனக்கும் மிக மகிழ்ச்சியாக இருந்தது. ஏன்னா எத்தனை பேருக்கு நம்ம இந்த மெசேஜ் போய் சேருதோ அவ்வளவு பேரை மாத்தணும் அப்படின்றதுதான் நம்மளுடைய நோக்கமே. ஏன்னா ஐ see lot of human potential being wasted. அவங்களுடைய அந்த பொட்டன்ஷியலை ஃபுல்லா யூஸ் பண்ணாம. So I can see the transformation of Paneer Selvam from what he was at KMCH and what he is doing now, and probably everyone from the association is doing the same. So இந்த அளவுக்கு மற்ற ஸ்டூடெண்ட்டையும் நம்ம கொண்டு வரணும் அப்படின்றதுதான் என்னுடைய எய்மே. லைக் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் இன்ஜினியரிங் முடிச்சுட்டு ஒரு இதுல I mean, what is that? Zomato.
Yeah.
எல்லாம் ஒர்க் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க அப்படின்னு முருகானந்தம் வந்து அன்னைக்கு அவர் இன்டர்வியூல he was almost crying. How can an engineering student go for this job?
Yeah.
So much of education is being given. So ஒரு BE முடிச்சுட்டு அந்த ஒரு செல்ஃப் எஸ்டீம் லெவல் ஹையா இருக்கணும், என்னால இது பண்ண முடியும், இவ்வளவு பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு நினைக்க வைக்கணும், அந்த அளவுக்கு மாத்தணும் அப்படின்றதுதான் என்னுடைய நோக்கமே. எவ்வளவு தூரம்